We have, they're going to get ready for their third game. They are going to discuss what they need to do to win this game. Maybe drink some more water if they've been sweating the game, things like that.
Or Red Bull.
Or Red Bull, of course. We are at
there's plenty of
the best place for it. I actually grabbed one earlier that was in a big can of Red Bull, had cans of Red Bull inside of it. So it was kind of like, Red Bullception. Just open up, get another one.
Red Bullception.
Red Bullception, man.
All right.
It's now a word. 2 words, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Compound.
Continuing on. Yes. Hyphenated, maybe. Don't know. Who knows? Someone does.
Now, as we jump into the spectator mode, we're just going to go over what's happening. If you're just joining us, I don't know why. You should have been on here. It started a while ago. But if you are anyways, from Rivington III, joined alongside me is Freak as well, David Freak Turley. We are from Riot Games, the casters over your League of Legends, free-to-play game, leagueoflegends.com. Check it out. We're all around the globe. But right now we're here in Santa Monica, California, a hop, skip, and a jump away from our headquarters at the Red Bull headquarters in the Red Bull Stadium. These guys getting the chance to play for Child's Play and Make-A-Wish Foundation, respectively, for the two teams. They'll be getting $5,000 for their win as well, and that will go to the Make-A-Wish or Child's Play Foundation. So this is awesome. The After Hours Gaming League has been just an awesome league for these guys to play in. Completely competitive, but also very friendly. And these guys, back and forth, camaraderie between all the companies, and we've now seen that they can also they can play games as well as make games. So you see them poised in the lobby waiting. There's your team EA coming out with a great win right there. And Freak, what do you think? And the momentum is now behind both of these teams with one win and coming into the third match.
Well, I think because that win looked so much more convincing for EA, I feel like they're the slightly better team, just an overall cohesion and movement and teamwork. And it's how it feels like the game's been playing. That second one a bit more convincing. They seemed to gank very well. They came back from a 3-kill deficit.
Yep.
Soraka got first blooded right at the very beginning of the game. They still turned that one around despite a first blood infused Morgana in mid and things like that. So I feel like there are more tools at their disposal to make that win for them. However, Amazon has shown in the record so far, they're 2-1 in overall games with these guys.
Yes.
They won the game in the regular season. They won the first game of this best of 3. They're absolutely capable of taking this one home. I just think they need to make sort of the right decisions as a team. That first game team comp, they crushed that late game so hard, and that was great. And it was some targeted bans that caused them, some very big successes. I don't know if we're going to see different bans come out here, or if Amazon's going to say, we want first pick.
Right.
We really want to get that Soraka, but both teams have been first picking Soraka so far. It might be a third time as well.
Yeah, we've seen Karthus banned out in every game. I believe, Morgana has been banned out, but taken last game as well. We'll have to figure out. I believe we do have an interview, and we're going to shoot over to that right quick.
Okay, take it away. Ready to take 2. Hello, everyone. I am here with Epic Gamers Nyat Nguyen. He and I actually casted some of the After Hours Gaming League games before this grand finals tournament, so he's actually here watching them right alongside me. Saw both of those. So what have you thought of those games so far, Nyat?
They're really well-played games by both teams. First game, I think it's mainly the Vlad pick that did a lot of work. And then they had Soraka and Shen protecting Vlad. So Vlad was doing most of the damage in the first game. And the second game, I think Malzahar did a lot of damage, so good job by Malzahar. He played the mid player for EA played Malzahar both games, so I'm expecting him to try to pick it up for their game too.
So what have you actually thought of some of the picks? Obviously those were big players in the last 2 games, but we also saw Teemo top, which is something we haven't seen in quite some time in the pro scene at least. So as a pro player, is that sort of interesting to you at all?
Yeah, I think a few teams are experimenting with champion-specific roles. So I think it's Amazon. So Amazon last game, their Vladimir player went middle. This game he went Teemo top. Their support player went mid Morgana, and then their mid player went top lane. So I think their top lane went support. So they shifted 3 roles over. So it's pretty cool by Amazon to do that, to play champions they like to play and not get stuck in one role.
Yeah, so actually this is a little bit of a different experience for you, because instead of playing at the event, you're actually watching. And instead of pro players playing, these are corporate players, just dudes like everyone else. So how is it for you actually being in the audience and watching these guys play? Is it a different experience, or does it feel just like IPL or MLG?
There's a lot less pressure on me to do well, so I kind of like it. It's nice to kick back and relax and watch some good games. I really like I like just sitting back and watching. Like myself, I'm a fan of League of Legends and SV2, so it's nice to be able to sit down and watch instead of having the pressure on me to do well in practice.
Well, are you going to be sticking around for the StarCraft 2 games after these?
I think so. If you're staying here, Travis, me and you together forever.
Yeah, I'm going to stick around, so we'll be here together to watch those as well. Any predictions going into the third matchup?
I'm kind of predicting a Malzahar ban because I saw that pick twice. I think Vladimir will be banned too, and I'm not sure if Wizard will go back middle or if their top lane will go back top lane.
Are there any specific players here that are really impressing you?
Right now, Wizard is CSing really well. Both bottom lane players, when they have Caitlyn, are getting nice CS leads. So I think maybe Caitlyn will be an important pick as well.
Well, how about a winner of the third match? Do you have any predictions for who you think is going to come out ahead? Obviously, those were pretty close games, both instances, so I don't know how you can predict it, but let's see if you got an idea.
I think if they don't give Wizard like a heavy carry, AP carry, like a Vlad or a Ryze or like a Kennen, then EA has a good shot at winning. They just have to shut down Wizard.
All right, well, hey, thanks a ton for the interview, Nat. And we're going to be watching that third match coming up in just a second. But until then, we're going to be throwing back to the casters over in the casting booth.
All right, thank you very much, Travis. And Win, obviously pretty good support. I'd say
these are,
good.
Only for Epic, like whatever, right?
But as you heard it there, Wizard has been playing very well. He's now been pointed out kind of the headhunt of the MVP for Amazon right now. So if he can continue to grab a very strong AP middle and they can't figure out what champions are in his pool to ban out, then, it may be quite strong. Maybe that's why we've been seeing the Karthus ban.
Yeah, it's absolutely a possibility. I mean, you've seen these sort of mages getting banned just all around. You saw the Mordekaiser into the
Ryze,
Vlad, and they've been banning Wizard. And honestly, that seems like what they're doing. And as you saw Nyet say, if you get something like Kennen or Vlad or Ryze, do they have to switch a ban out for Kennen? I mean, do they let anything else there? But I mean, right now they're just banning hyper carry mages, and that's what they're focusing on is get rid of that Wizard hyper carry because he's destroying faces, and they only have 3 bans. So do they first pick a Kennen, or does he not know Kennen, or what's in the repertoire there? But I kind of agree that Wizard's been kind of a star player there for Amazon, and I think Amazon needs to pick him something that is just a strong carry champion and not just counterpick. I mean, he did well as Teemo. He made some good moves, but he didn't dominate the game the way he did when he was Vladimir. So I think that's kind of the better choice here. And there you can see Rush Wizard, the partial picture there. I've got to assume that's on purpose. Actually, he just only wanted like 3/4 of his face on screen. And we are going through the picks and bans right now as we go through the Amazon lineup. I'll keep you posted if there's any major developments going on right now. So far, it's the exact same bans before, so don't worry about it. And yeah, you just kind of see them going through. Sky, the AD carry there, Volante. He was, I believe, the support last time around was a jungler before.
Yep. And a good thing to point out is actually I was talking to Lord Zale, and he said that Rush Wizard is actually known for if he gets that early, if he is allowed to get any type of early snowball, he's very good at utilizing and controlling that and keeping it. So if he can get an early kill, he becomes a very dangerous champion right off the bat. There you see the captain of Team Amazon, Lord Zale, that is the jungler. And Lee Sin is his favorite. And as I said, every time Lee Sin hasn't been banned out and they get it, they're able to win the game. So we'll have to see if we see a Lee Sin ban, probably a Vladimir ban. Shen worked very well for Amazon first game. There's been a lot of Mundo play going on between both teams. And as Nyut said, that Caitlyn has been a good pick and great CSing for both teams when she's picked. That range is really giving them that comfortable feel of being able to stay in lane and CS and utilize that damage. We've seen a lot of Graves as well as the counter pick on that. And there, again, we see the Shen. They will not get Lee Sin on Amazon. They will have him on Zero again. So we play 3 straight games of Lee Sin in this tournament.
Yep, and 3 straight rushes for Soraka, followed by Caitlyn. So actually this is the first time we've seen Soraka and Caitlyn not on the same team, but Amazon once again grabbing Morgana for themselves. They've gotten Shen as they did in the very first game. So we'll see if that's going to be...
take Vladimir away from Wizard.
Yeah, of course. So is that going to be Wizard now playing Morgana as the AP mid, or is he going to be on this Shen here? But we have Graves being picked up, so the same 2 AD carries over and over. Amazon also the 3rd time in a row grabbing Dr. Mundo, so the Lord Sale going to be on that every single time around. Their mid, top, and support switch roles every once in a while. We see Lulu making her 2nd appearance as well, and that's actually both times, I believe, that EA, no, I'm trying to remember, but basically EA saying, hey, yeah, you know, we didn't get Soraka, so we're going to grab Lulu, no problem with that. But now they have Caitlyn in here, so we'll see if that pans out well for them. And now it looks like we have one more grab to go. It's going to be the solo top, most likely, for EA. We'll see what he does with that.
Also, Messiah going straight Malzahar all these games. So what they're actually almost missing there, Malzahar is a great champion. He scales very well into late game, always doing the percentage damage, but you're missing a little bit of AoE that you can grab from your AP carry, that ability power. And Ska is picking Morgana as well for Wizard, so Wizard's going to be able to utilize that. He may also, as we said, Soraka can go mid, a very terror mid, and it would actually be quite good against Malzahar. You can just heal up on that Malefic Vision, Shred has magic resistance, and just Star Call his way to the tower. It's going to be a pretty good matchup between both teams. All these teams have really countered each other really well. The first game was a lot of stun versus a lot of stick. The second game was a lot of poke, and they came out on top with Caitlyn once again on that range. And this third game is kind of like all out in your face. They banned out that Vladimir so they can make sure Wizard doesn't scale into late game. They have Caitlyn again for the poke. We'll see Team Amazon there getting ready for this matchup. A little bit of nerves there. Like Bobbin, they are getting ready to get back into the game. And once we get in, we already have the picks and bans down. So these guys are going to go head-to-head here. The After Hours Gaming League's grand final matchup, EA versus Amazon. So many teams participating in this tournament.
Yep.
Ernst Young just on the backside of missing third-place seed in the tournament. But these two coming out on top, like we said. Amazon has some Platinum. EA has some 17 to 1800 ELO players. So these guys definitely know how to utilize the champions in their champion pool.
Yep, they're absolutely some strong players. A lot of them actually, one of them actually came through. He's like, hey, yeah, we played a solo queue game together a while back. We matched again. So I was like, oh, cool. Of course, I played so many games, you never remember all the screen names, but I was like, oh, nice. So these guys are definitely very, very good players. You're going to see here remaking as we're going to go and switch sides. So EA is going to be blue team. The picks you saw, but for the first time, EA is going to be that bottom left blue team coming up across the map. And Amazon's going to be purple, spawning in the top right. We'll see if that makes actually much of a difference for them. We actually saw them split 1-1 before anyway, so we'll see if there's some kind of blue team advantage that one of these teams is looking for, or if it's just kind of the way that the cards unfold. But we are going into this very, very shortly, and solo top I think is going to be Olaf versus Shen, and I'm actually not sure who was on what role. If that was going to be Rush Wizard playing that Shen there, as he was,
right.
As we had a Morgana player last time with core space, and so we'll see if that's going to work out differently or not.
I think Rolante is going to be one taking that up. He enjoys support, but he also enjoys tanky characters. He can play top, he can play mid. As we said, they kind of have that switch-up crew that Amazon can play, so their champion pool becomes a little bit bigger, and they have a little bit more to ban out for the other team because of what they can play. They'll say, oh, you know what, they banned out that. We kind of wanted to choose this, but they did, so let's go ahead and counter it and switch up the roles we're playing instead of just the champions we're playing.
Yep, absolutely, but we are now into that blind pick. We see everyone locking in their champion roles right now. Lee Sin, Caitlyn, Olaf, Malzahar, and Lulu here for EA on the blue team. You can see them right here. That solo top Olaf, second time in a row for him. Did very well the first time, and now actually with a bit of an easier lane, looks like he will be fighting up against a Shen up there, and Wizard will be taking over that Morgana, so he's going back to that solo mid location, and we'll see if he does well against Messiah 14. He did very well last time he was mid. It was Vladimir there, did a whole lot of damage, and farmed pretty much all the minions, even invaded towards that red camp and got a whole lot of stuff there. And Wizard really was the reason they won that first game. He got very, very end game as Vladimir and baited a whole lot of the pressure. But now they're saying, we don't want Urgot, we want Olaf. Everything else, though, going to stay about the same. Let's keep it going. They have decent CC here. They've got that Malzahar suppression. They've got that Lulu, that Whimsy there, going to polymorph 1.5 to 2.5 seconds. It's going to keep a champion from attacking or casting spells, and that'll be a great way to shut down some enemy champions here. As we tick down our delay, the purple team, Amazon, Shen solo top, jungle, Dr. Mundo. It's a very beefy front line between those two champions, very good at initiating, running in, and just dishing out damage while really giving no cares about damage coming back into them. You've got Graves and Soraka at the bottom lane, and I actually like that lane a lot. Graves is very durable and very good at pushing, has a lot of area of effect damage, is really good at kind of just shoving you around the map. Then you've got Soraka, which is constantly supplies health and mana to an ally, and will keep Graves topped off on both those health and mana bars. and keep pushing over and over. And the same for Morgana as well. As an ability power mage champion, does a lot of magic damage, has some good control, has actually pretty good durability as well. And again, area of effect, very good at clearing minion waves. We'll see if Messiah 14 on Malzahar can stand up to that. He's gonna have to try to keep those minions down and under pressure and keep them killed and not press to his turret all game.
Yeah, it's a pretty good team and not really a mana-reliant team for Amazon. They do have 2 champions that do not rely on mana, which is really nice for them. They're going to be able to utilize where these buffs are going. Even in the beginning part of the game, they may even go for that quick blue to mid since Mundo does not need it. We may not see it happen. We may see it happen. They're going to have to pull out all the stops for this match. It is the grand finals here at the After Hours Gaming League, brought to you by Day 9 and Red Bull Gaming. Right now, we got the League of Legends matches going on, the third and final. If you're just joining us, myself, Rivington III, and Freak here, giving you these games play by play all day long. We do have more we have StarCraft coming later, but right now EA to face off versus Amazon in their final matchup. The teams are actually poised and ready. They've picked their champions. A very good team by Amazon, brings in a lot of tank to the game, a little bit of late game as well, but both teams actually have late game champions, maybe a few as well. On the other side, Malzahar gets quite tanky as well, and you can see Morgana getting tanky for the AP team, but her damage, or not as tanky, but her damage doesn't fall off as well as Malzahar, so.
So you've got Malzahar and Morgana definitely being very high damage, mages in mid. They're going to keep being extremely useful. And the cool thing about Morgana is if she has a bad game, she still has a lot of utility and crowd control. She brings in roots and stuns and slows and shields and has great effects to her team. So he's going to be useful all game no matter what. Malzahar, he's got that suppression with the ultimate, but he needs to get some ability power going. He's really there as a damage dealer, so he needs to do that as much as possible. Olaf is the same way. Gasti there for EA, that solo top champion. He needs to get himself farmed up, and he needs to be a big, big damage threat. If he doesn't have that happen, he's going to be in a world of trouble. Lee Sin and Caitlyn are both the same way, where they don't bring too much more than themselves to the battle. But for the Amazon lineup, they've really got a bunch of guys who don't need to farm to do well. Between Shen and Morgana, they both have the option to just kind of kick a whole lot of butt and do just fine. So, in the audience and at home online, if you want EA to take this one, they are the blue team. If you want EA, let me hear you guys cheer.